So joining us next to share their experience in Turkey, we have Mesut and Meral Kacmaz. Both Mesut and Meral have their master's degree in education and 2 decades of experience in education internationally. Their family was kidnapped on September 27, 2017 from Pakistan to Turkey, and from what I understand was a collaboration of Inter-Services of Intelligence of Pakistan and MIT, the Turkish Intelligence Service. They were jailed for 9 months and released, and Meral also was held in solitary confinement for 7 months. Hello, Mesut and Meral. Thank you for joining the broadcast today, and it sounds like you've been through a pretty harrowing experience. I was wondering if you can maybe tell me a little bit more about what happened in Pakistan and that experience that you went through.
Yeah. First of all, we were educationists in Pakistan, and everything was going smoothly till 15 July 2016. Coup attempt in Turkey, and then things changed and up and down in Pakistan. Unfortunately, I was as a director of public relations at public schools and colleges, and things changed after the coup attempt. So our visa have been expired September 2016, and by the Minister of Interior, we have been promised to extend the visa because there was no any problem. But in November 2017, Erdogan was planning to visit Pakistan. Just before visiting of Pakistan, Erdogan visit to Pakistan, 14 November 2017, we have received a letter from the Minister of Interior that they were not able to extend our visa without any reason. And we have received second letter, 16 November 2017. They have given order to leave the country within 72 hours. All Turkish families were supposed to leave within 3 days, 72 hours, immediately, without any reason. So we have rushed to United Nations to get protection certificate that we got 24th November 2017. And then we have been given a year to stay, to remain as official in Pakistan. And 27th of March 2017, again, Lahore High Court has extended to stay in Pakistan for a year regarding the protection certificate of United Nations. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have learned later that we were under surveillance of Pakistan intelligence almost 28 times, September 2016 till September 2017, within a year, 28 times intelligence service from Pakistan, FIR, as well ISI, other intelligence service as well that I have forgotten their names, continues to, they were visiting my house. So we were so much afraid what will happen this situation as well. But unfortunately, 27th of September 2017, 15 to 20 group of people in plain clothes, they said that they are coming from CTT counter terror department, and they are going to take us to safe house with the long arm, 15 to 20. It was about 1:30 a.m. in the morning. We were in a sleep, but my wife was awake at that time. They have attacked us. They have beaten and tortured. They have not shown any legal paper, any warrant, any ID regarding due to our request, just to show us there is no problem. We are going to collaborate and we are going to come. But unfortunately, they didn't do that. And then we have been kept in detention, as detention I'm telling, for 17 days in unknown location. And we have learned that when we reached over there, the location, it was saying that there are some menus in the place where we stayed. Amir Shahid Mess, it was written. It was the army places, later we found out. And then we have been forcibly again sent to special business class jets in Lahore. It was in the Allama Iqbal International Airport. There was an army airport as well, just next to it. Forcibly, they have taken us to the, unfortunately, jet. And then we have been taken to Turkey forcibly, torture, and till landing, I have been tortured a lot by the Turkish intelligence, as well ISI people during detention. And when we reached to Turkey, we separated. Yeah, they have separated us. They didn't allow me to speak with my wife as well with my children. And by torturing, by abusing too much, then they have taken me to hospital to get the health report, and they have taken with the police because police were always with me. They didn't allow me to stay with the doctor alone. I have shown, but she didn't do anything. So they have issued the full healthy report, and then I was detained for 3 days, and I was forced to sign the fake testimony. Otherwise, they are going to rape to my wife and my kids, my daughters, in front of my eyes. Even in the plane, unfortunately, they have continuously told me that they are going to do same thing in the plane as well, in front of my eyes. And they have told me you have only 33 days to leave. That after that we are going to kill you. I said, what is the reason? Reason is that what I know. I have told them what is reason. What's my guilt? What's my crime? And they were not able to say anything. And then I was arrested and then sent to the Silivri jail. And I was stayed over there for 9 months. And with the United Nations Arbitrary Detention Working Group strong advice to Turkish government to release us, then I have been released. But before me, my wife, thanks God that she was released 26th of April 2018. And then with the United Nations, I was released. Then this is our actually short story, and still our case is going on. As Mesut Kacmaz, I was educationist and teacher, and right now currently I'm doing as a taxi driver. That's my short story. So my wife may continue.
Yes, please, Meral.
Actually, he summarized all the story, and what has happened is quite obvious that we were totally kidnapped. We were not being allowed to talk to our lawyer. We were not, although in the Lahore court, it was ordered to keep us in Pakistan. The court himself ordered to the Pakistan authorities to keep us in Pakistan, but they even didn't listen their own court order, and they handed us over to a plane which is landed to Lahore in a midnight, and it was so you cannot imagine. You don't know where you will be taken, because in Pakistan it is quite popular to kidnap people for ransom, or to hand over to some intelligence services, or to hand over to the terrorist groups. That's why when we were held 17 days, we don't know what is going to happen us. We don't know if we will be handed over to a terrorist group to get killed, or we will be handed over. We don't know what might happen, because in Pakistan they were refusing to make us meet any lawyer. They didn't give us any of our legal rights. Even in Turkey, I mean, we were being moved from one court to another court, because it is totally against the rule and regulation. You cannot just kidnap some people abroad and bring to the country and then judge them in the court. Actually, they have no right for that. So, but unfortunately, we were being sentenced to the 6 years and 3 months jail time in the court. And yes, we are now released, but if it is being approved by the High Court, we will be again retaken to the jail and spend our years over there. I mean, at least 5-6 years we will spend in the jail. So we are waiting right now for the decision of the High Court. Like in Turkey right now, hundreds of thousands of people are waiting for their, these funny crimes, because they are not criminals. They just deposited money to a bank which is opened by the government, or they were just members of a syndicate which was approved by the government, or they have sent their kids to the schools which was again approved by the government, and then everything was legal, but out of a sudden we turned to criminals in the eyes of our government, and they announced us as terrorists because we were not supporting them, and right now we are trying to survive.
Well, and you as educators, one of the most important critical pieces in society, teachers, is so important. And I think as I've been learning more about this, I've really struggled with understanding why they've targeted certain groups of people. And it's almost like as things are getting caught up in the court system in Turkey, it's like everybody's held captive in some ways. And so your case is still kind of ongoing. How are you two? How has it impacted your life?
We don't have, actually, they have stolen our lives because you cannot apply a job. When you apply any job, they know that you are being sentenced. So nobody is ready to give you any job. And even your neighbors, because they know that if they greet you or if they are close to you, they can anytime be arrested, or they can be again, they can be, they have to pass through the same pathway which you pass through. They know you are innocent. And then they try to call you secretly, or they try to meet you in the midnight, or they, I have almost 11 cousins, and I was able to talk to only one of them after I was released from jail. And since 2 years, just one of them has enough courage to talk to me. So this is, even your relatives, they know you have done nothing wrong, but they cannot even talk to you. So you are totally abandoned, and then you are isolated in the society. And you cannot even meet with the people which pass through the same tragedy like you, because then you are again, they say that you are reinstalling terrorist group, and then they don't even allow you to meet with each other. Mm-hmm. And if you try to help the families of your prison friends, because some of our friends are still in prison, when you try to help their families, when you give food, only when you give food, you are again being labeled by the terrorism, and again you pass through the same phases. So people who are helping each other nowadays in Turkey, they take the responsibility, they take the risk to go through the same systematic same system again, and that's why people are just scared. We are scared.
I want to share my experience when I came to Silivri prison, and then I entered the room, and the friends over there, they have told me, Mr. Mesut, welcome, how are you? I said, I was shocked. How do you know me? And I have seen all pro-government media, TV channels. I have seen my news over there as international terrorists.
Yes,
international. And the next coming days, not only one day, every day with the different printing media, I have seen my news, my wife news as well, as international terrorist. And when I was released in my city, I had some very close friends, very, very close. And once visited with my wife, just wanted to visit them. And we have gone to their next door, and we have been rejected to see them because they were afraid if someone saw, and they could be also arrested due to our visit. We said that, okay, no problem. These are our friends, but I think this is the time to stay at home and not to meet and not to put the other lives in dangers. This is situation and allegation about Mr. Mesut. What was the allegation or accusation by the court? It is very simple. Depositing money, legal bank, okay? But it was wrong. And also in the first case hearing, the prosecutor asked the judge why he has made a mistake about written of allegation, because I didn't deposit the bank due to order of someone. So I was just saving my money and just depositing the bank. They have seen these details over there, and prosecutor was angry with the judge at that time. Sorry, prosecutor. Judge was angry with the prosecutor. And the other allegation, I have met with telephonic conversation with 3 persons. One of them was the very close friend of Erdogan, very close, as Erdogan's son called him as an uncle. So I have spoken with him. There is no details, madam. There is nothing, only date and the time, that's all. I said, okay, what did I discuss with them? It is not our case. They said, I mean, the judge said that it is not our case, but you have spoken with those people. I said, okay, but this is the friend or close friend of Erdogan. So how could you do that? This is the second allegation. And the third allegation about helping people, madam. Helping people right now is crime. It is in my file. It was written. And the fourth allegation is to work after schools and colleges. And I want to mention that ex-embassy of Turkey, Sadık Babur Girgin, has labeled us, and he has prepared report about me and about my wife. I have seen in the police station and written many things. You can give accusation about anybody, but you have to prove it. If there is any guilt or if there is any crime, you have to prove it. If you're not able to prove, you cannot do anything. I asked in the first case here, I asked the prosecutor, if you could please prove it. He said that he doesn't have to prove it. I have to prove that I am not innocent. I was kidnapped, tortured, and forced to fake testimony to save my family members. And then I was arrested. Then I was the person like others, not only me, I was the one person who was supposed to prove and give the evidence that I am not innocent in the jail with the limitation. This is actually what I want to share also, that issue.
But we are still lucky, because many people get lost, and then many people get lost in the custody, and then still their families are waiting for their relatives. So we were, maybe because our case was quite popular and United Nations was involved, we didn't get lost, and then we still alive, and we were still, we have to be thankful to God, But, something else hurt me so much. Okay, suppose that we are criminals. Suppose that we were really terrorists. Suppose that. But they didn't allow our kids to study. They said that the school which they studied was the school which we were running in Pakistan. And they imagine the Pakistani students who came from same school, they were able to study in Turkey, but they didn't allow my kids to study in Turkey. And then she was a very successful child. It was their dream to study in their own country, but they had to leave Turkey to be able to study. It was what hurt me most, actually. They didn't allow, they destroyed the dreams of young teenagers. But they didn't lose much, actually. They went to a very good country, and then they even get scholarship from in these countries, and then they are very well settled right now. But what they did will not be forgotten.
So Meral, I was wondering, you had a pretty unique experience being in solitary confinement and also being in prison. And I'm wondering if you could share a little bit more about that experience, like what you were feeling and how you were even coping as a mother in that situation.
Actually, Renee, when I was put into solitary confinement, I was made believe that I will stay rest of my life in that cell. Because during when they tried to take my testimony, they almost brainwashed me that to make me believe that for a lifetime I will stay in that cell. That's why when I entered in that cell, and then they said that whether you will stay lifetime in that cell or you will accept that you were a terrorist and your friends were terrorists. And I was, I wanted to die. I said that, how can I call myself and my friends? Because I worked too hard for the peace and I worked too hard for my students, and I'm not a terrorist. And then I said that finally, but I was too weak, because 1 month when you don't see sunlight and when you don't get proper food, and for 1 month when you are continuously forced to give testimony, and you are losing your conscience, you are losing your control. And I was almost about to accept that what they want me to sign. But finally I said that, how will I look at the mirror anymore? How can I feel myself as a human anymore. And I said that, I said to them as well, I said that in one court, or in the second court, or in the third court, in another court, somewhere they will approve that I'm innocent. But if I call my friends terrorists, I will deny all my past, and I will not be able to look at the mirror anymore. And I said that I wish I could lie. I wish I could do what you want me to do, but I can't. I can't just delete all my past and look at my friend's face with this lie. And I said that I cannot lie to you. And then they put me in that jail, in that cell, the first day, because I have seen a little sunlight through the window, and because I found a bed. Because when you were in under custody, you are not given bed. You have to sleep on the wood. So that's why, because I found bed, first day I just slept. But the third day, you start to think where you are. You are in a little cell, you have nothing, and then you will never be able to part of in their children's lives. Because I still believe that I will stay there forever. And then I started to think that I will not be there when you finish university. I will not be there when they get married. I will not be there to hold my grandchildren. And then you think that whole your life will go. You will stay over there. And I couldn't bear. And in the fourth day, I remember in the cell, I made it up. How can I end my life? And you see you try to manage how can you end up your life over there. And a human being is quite clever. Everywhere you can find a way to end your life. And I was crying terribly, and then I was not in a good shape. But thanks God, other prisoners, they called me towards the window of the cell. And they tried to consultate me. They tried to tell me that you are innocent. If you believe you are innocent, you will be strong. No test will be forever. You will one day get released. You will meet with your kids again. And then try to give me some courage to breathe. And then I came to myself. I said that, come on, I have to be strong. There is no way other than being strong over there, and you have to hang up. And I started to read. I started to read every day one book. I was able to access books, thanks God. And I started to read lots of books. And it was an experience. It was a quite experience, because losing everything at a time. I have lost my kids, my home, my life, in the country which I get used to, everything. But I was just worried about my kids, because they have lost more than we lost. They have lost their school, they have lost their friends, which are very important for them. They have lost their pets. When we were under custody in Pakistan, they continuously repeated that whether we had a water turtle, whether if somebody found it and feed it, what if he dies? What if the pet dies? And then when we were under custody in Pakistan, they didn't give my daughter's eyeglasses. And his number is too high. And when we were eating something, she wasn't able to finish the food on her plate, because she wasn't able to see the food on the plate properly. And then first time in my life, I have wiped the blood from my children's body. And first time because during the kidnapping, their clothes were torn, and then they were pulled on the ground, and then their body was, they were bleeding. So I had to clean up their blood, and I have to clean up the earth which was on their body. And then, yes, we went through some experience, very, very bad experience. And I wish, but when I was in the cell, I was still thankful to God. I said that, thanks God, not my other friends faced to this. Thanks God, I was the one who faced this. Because if I think that one of my friend was in place of me over there, I would really, it would be much more devastating, actually. So, yes.
Well, you sound like you've had such a great, strong spirit behind you to help you drive through that. And I think what's interesting about that too is you've elevated your case to levels that people are watching you, and you have such resilience. And I just, my heart goes out to you both, and your children. I hope that everything goes good from here.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And
thank you so much, Renee.